All right, thank you very, very much, Valen. Well, what an exciting morning it has been here. I have to tell you, it's just been filled with so much memory and discussion, and just having Ahmed Katrada and Dennis Goldberg with us here on the program has just been an absolute treat. And I hope you enjoyed that conversation. Well, I gathered from what's happening on Twitter, you did enjoy that conversation. So I'm glad, and thank you very, very much for the feedback. Wish we could have spoken to them for longer, but then again, I don't think you can share those memories in an hour conversation. I think that's even too short. Well, today I mentioned a little bit earlier that the reason that we're broadcasting from the Nelson Mandela Foundation is primarily due to the fact that there is going to be a conversation or a dialogue that's going to be taking place with the youth. And you heard during our interview with Kathy and Dennis that the youth was one of the parts of the population that we really need to reach out to. They can never ever forget a day like today, the 50th anniversary of the Rivonia trialists who were sentenced. We can never ever forget the struggle that our veterans went through in order for us to enjoy the freedoms that we have got today. Now, somebody who's going to be facilitating this dialogue, who's also going to be talking and knows oh too well about the struggle, especially within his family and growing up within it as well, is Shaka Sisulu, who's here with me on the program. Shaka, it's so good to see you. Welcome to the program.
See you as well. Good morning. How are you doing?
Good. I'm very, very well. I've had an amazing morning just listening to these You listened to the conversation as well.
I was eavesdropping.
Yeah.
And thank goodness I was. You know, it's always great to get the richness of our history told by the people that actually lived it. It helps to contextualize it, because just reading it in a book, it seems so foreign and distant, and when they tell you about it, you can actually relate to it as people actually doing these things.
Yeah, I mean, it is, because we don't realize that when these gentlemen are gone, they take with them a wealth of knowledge, and if you don't suck that knowledge out of them now, you'll never know. I mean, when Dennis turned around and said, and I asked the question, what was it like for you when the judge read out your sentence? He said, there was a massive smile on my face. He said, all of us we were smiling and containing our excitement. Now, I mean, nobody in a textbook would understand that, but you do when you know that the death penalty was hanging over your head at the same time.
Yeah, so they thought they were goners.
Yeah.
I suppose for history's sake, it was the best thing that happened, because it preserved them. It preserved a man like Mandela so that he was able to, many years later, lead the next phase of the freedom struggle, which was a lot more complex and intricate, because it now meant negotiating with the enemy. And finding a settlement, a negotiated settlement, something that had never happened in any such conflict anywhere in the world. Yeah. But had it not happened for that moment where the judge said, you have life, even though it's imprisonment, we would not have the great leadership that many of us have come to see out of these great gentlemen.
Yeah. Now, you're going to be facilitating this dialogue with the youth that are going to be gathered here today. What are you hoping to achieve out of it? I mean, what is it the message that you want to get through?
I think many of us are quite uncertain as to how do we unleash the own Mandelas and Kathradas and Sisulus in ourselves, and it's important to have moments like this where we reflect on what actions were taken, under what conditions were they taken, what is the mindset of these people, and how does it correlate to what it is that we're about today? Yeah. Because I think that there's a great wealth of talent, of leadership talent in South Africa that has just had not had the chance to be unearthed, has not had the chance to be tested. And I think the more young leaders, aspiring leaders in South Africa learn about our history of the great leaders that we've had, the easier it is for them to fit into those particular roles.
Yeah. Let's talk about your grandfather, because, I mean, Walter Sisulu, he was one of the Rivonia trialists, and I talk about the fact that while you still have them alive, you must steal that knowledge out of them.
Yeah.
Your family, the Sisulu family, do you still, reminisce about those occasions?
All the time.
All the time.
All the time. We especially when we're all together, there's lots of conversations and laughter and memories of the old man and Gogo as well, and the things that they taught us and the things they told us, you know, the moments that they made us laugh in particular, you know, the human moments. So there's always a great amount of reflection, and with that also comes a reinforcement of saying, they're gone, but they're still with us, and the values that they left, we still have to uphold them. You know, it's not as easy as saying, oh well, let's just move on and let's all do our own thing. You know, there's still an expectation internally to say, you know, what would your grandparents want you to be doing right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Living with that Sisulu surname is not it comes with a big task and responsibility, and you've got a 5-month-old now as well. Yeah. Who's going to have to carry that name too?
Well, people talk about the responsibility, but I also talk about the blessing, because to have a framework within which you know this is what you can do, this is what you can't do. For sometimes it's a lot easier to go through life knowing that this is the framework, or these are the boundaries, as opposed to just being able to turn it up.
Well, listen, I have to wrap this, but I can't not, because it's hard to not see the Madiba shirt and the Madiba hairstyle. That hairstyle. This cut in the side parting.
80s back. Yeah.
You are styling. Are you bringing Tata back for us?
I started wearing the hair like this after he passed away, just to remind myself, of what it is that he meant to all of us. And my hairstylist doesn't want to let go.
I love it.
He's holding on. Hey. So I guess we're all holding on to Madiba in our own different ways.
Yeah, we must. It's hard not to. Shaka, thank you. Good luck. I hope it goes well today, and it's been a pleasure chatting to you. Shaka Sisulu, he's going to be hosting this dialogue that's going to be happening with the youth here, I think starting at 10 o'clock this morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right, 10 o'clock at the Nelson Mandela Center for Memory. Let's take a break. We'll see you after this.